we were awarded this contract in 1997. An investment of more than 30 million US dollars in seismic studies, geological studies, and pre-drilling activities has been already completed. REPSOL is holding in this project a 15% share, and we have partners in the project that are YPF, our subsidiary, with 30%, Tulu, Guyana VMV, company from Scotland, with 30% shares, and CGX Resources, a Canadian company, with 25% shares in the business. The preparation of the Jaguar 1 well is moving ahead, with drilling planned to start sometime between August and September, depending on the arrival of the drilling rig. This was originally planned to start in May. Unfortunately, the weather conditions in Suriname, where the drilling rig is actually now, and some technical inconveniences that the drillers has had down there on the well that are drilling for INPEX has delayed the arrival of the rig for approximately 3.5 months. That's why we're going to start by August or September. REPSOL, as a global corporation, has achieved a very high performance in safety and environment, and applies the highest industry standards to ensure this on all and every project in which we are involved. As corporate citizen, REPSOL in every country where it operates applies policies that pursue the maximization of opportunities for local businesses as well as for local people. In the case of Guyana, all products that are available in country and are up to the required standards are acquired locally. This also applies to the employment of the appropriate qualified local staff. As we move into the drilling phase, various contracts has been signed with local companies to provide port services, road transport services, helicopters, land handling services, security services, accommodation and catering services, civil construction services, office and catering supplies, fuel and water for vessels and rig, computers and networks equipment, internet and international league services, medical services, radio communication services, among many others. As the project develops, some of other services will be contracted locally. Altogether, up to now, with a value of more than 17 million US dollars, or what is the same 3.2 billion Guyanese dollars. It is very important to highlight that oil and gas business is a very risky one, because the probability of success is very low. In our case in Guyana, even though we have high expectations, neither we nor anybody else can make assurances that oil will be found. And this is very important. We are not drilling to a secure location of oil, and nobody can do so. We always drill looking for an opportunity that has been defined in a statistical way. We are willing to make the investments and take the risk, and afterwards evaluate the results. In the case that there is a commercial discovery, then together with our partners and the government, we need to initiate a development process that will take at least 5 years before first production is initiated. This will definitely bring extra wealth to the country and the Guyanese people. What you're seeing now here is actually the rig that we are using here in Guyana. And as you can see in the two photographs that I have shown, the bad weather conditions in Suriname make us to bring a tanker to serve as a curtain to block the swell in order to be able to move the rig from one position to the other position for the second well. And this is the type of situations that make this project so heavily intensive in investment. In Southern Central America, REPSOL is one of the most active explorers and has drilled wells in diverse areas such as the foothills of the Andes in Peru and the deserts of Patagonia to the deep waters of Brazil. The company has well-established oil production in Trinidad, Venezuela, Brazil, Peru, Argentina, among others, and is one of the most successful explorers in the continent. We have found in year 2010 5 major discoveries in South America, including the bigger gas discovery of the last 10 years in Venezuela and one of the bigger oil discoveries in Brazil. But additionally to that, we have been able also to discover some additional oil in the Gulf of Mexico with the Shenzi project and in Colombia on the foothills. What you're seeing now is a representation of all the exploration blocks that are in the area of the Guyana basin that includes Guyana, Suriname, and French Guyana. And you can see here the block that is named Georgetown, in which we're going to drill the Jaguar 1 well, starting in August, September, as I was mentioning. As I was mentioning also earlier, we are committed to the local content, and we will have in this project, in the onshore activities, a local component of 61% of employees versus 39% of expatriates. In the offshore side, unfortunately, the country do not have the expertise to provide technical people to go into the rig, so then we have to do it on expatriates exclusively. As I mentioned also, 3.6 billion Guyanese dollars has been invested in country, or are going to be invested in country, some of them already done, with local products or services. This shows you the location of the well that is 107 miles away from Georgetown and very near to the border of Guyana and Suriname on the international waters. By the way, it's located outside the 12 miles of area, so we are located in international waters, but of exclusivity exploitation of the Guyana state. This indicates the locations that we are using in Georgetown, where we have our operations. We will have an helipad in Ogle Airport. Our REPSOL office is nearby on the site of the American Embassy here in Georgetown. Our shore base is located nearby the Stabroek Market in the Fernandez Wharf, and we have a pipe yard located a little bit on the side of the road that goes into the Temeri Airport. And our fuel bunkering station is going to be located on the Demerara River just before the harbor bridge. These are some photographs of the pipe that we're going to use for the drilling that was already imported into the country. We have already all the pipe available in our pipe yard, as well as many other of the products and materials that we're going to use during the operation. After finishing the well, and if we found indications that discovery is possible, we will start some activities on the geological and geophysical side to identify if what we have found on the process of drilling is an indication that there is a discovery. Just a few information on that. making analysis of the fluids that are coming out from the well, and making analysis on the cuttings that are coming out of the well, as well as the cores that we're going to take inside the well, will give us enough information to determine if there is a discovery or not. This is very important for us and very important for the Guyana government, an emergency response plan. It is on the mouth